So you're not taking any prescriptions, or maybe you've got a few and GoodRx is cheaper, so you're wondering, do I really need to pay for Medicare Part D? Well, the answer might actually surprise you. So I'm Medicare Mike. Let's get started, get you what you need to know. So first thing is Medicare has penalties if you don't do certain things. One of those is for people who do not have creditable prescription drug coverage. So the way they look at it is if you go 63 days or more in a row without having any credible drug coverage, you could end up paying a penalty for the rest of your life. So this starts uh, after your initial enrollment period is over, not from your actual 65th birthday. So the reason that's important is you have that 7 month window right around your 65th birthday, and it's after that 7 month period is completely over, they start looking and counting those 63 days. How much is the penalty? Well, it's calculated as far as being 1% for each month that you don't have coverage. So if you go 1 year, it's a 12% penalty. If you go 5 years, that's 60 months, that's a 60% penalty. Good question might be, well, 1% of what? Well, it's of the national base beneficiary premium, which is in 2022, $33.37 per month. So it'd be a percentage of that, but that amount gets recalculated each year. So the 33.37 might be different in 2023, depending on when you're seeing this. So let's look at an example to see how this works in real life. So let's say Mrs. Jones, her initial enrollment period ended July 31st. During that time, she'd enrolled in a Medigap plan because she wanted coverage for that, but not a Part D since she wasn't taking any medications. 2 years later, she enrolled in a Part D plan. Her doctor started prescribing maintenance medications. So it was during that fall enrollment period where she enrolled to start January 1st. This meant that she had 29 months where she did not have credible drug coverage. So as far as the calculation, well, 29 months, it's going to be 29% of the base premium. So that's going to come out to about $9.68. But that gets rounded up to $9.70 per month because it's the nearest dime. So she's going to pay $9.70 penalty in addition to her drug plan premium for each month for 2022. That penalty is going to be for the rest of her life, but the amount can actually change because that national base beneficiary premium amount gets adjusted each year. So each year, the penalty amount is recalculated based on that beneficiary premium. So a couple questions that people come up because there's different situations. One is, what happens if you owe the penalty and you choose a $0 Medicare Advantage plan that includes drug coverage? Well, you still owe the penalty because even though your plan does not have a premium, the penalty is calculated off of that national base premium amount. So you're going to pay off of that. If you qualify for extra help based on your income, that means you're no longer going to pay the enrollment penalty as long as you continue to qualify for extra help. But looking, if that goes away, you could end up owing the penalty again. Let's say someone started Medicare before age 65 and you owe the late penalty. Well, the good news is that penalty does go away when you turn 65. You essentially get like a reset or a do-over where you can start having coverage then and you won't owe that penalty any longer. Now, one thing that does come up is IRMA, because there's sometimes where people think it makes sense to go without coverage, knowing you have a penalty later, but it's going to be more cost effective. So IRMA is an income-related monthly adjustment amount. So if your income was high, considered high by Medicare, according to this chart, you could end up paying a higher premium as far as for your Part B, but also if you have drug coverage. So I've seen this where people will have one big year because maybe they sold property or they had a business and they sold it and they had a very high income for 1 year, which was outside of the norm for them. Well, in that case, it can make financial sense to not pay the IRMA of maybe $70 a month. It's going to be $840 a year to take 1 month of that or 1 year of that premium penalty, and knowing that over the long haul, you're actually going to end up still paying less. So, you know you need drug coverage. Which company do you choose? Because there's a lot of them out there. Well, that's where I fit in. You may not know me yet, but I've been focused on Medicare insurance for more than 10 years. I started off working for an insurance company to understand how they operate, how to get things done in their world. But I speak plain English instead of that corporate double talk. I started my practice so I could be independent, work with more than 20 companies. That way, I'm not limited how I can help you because I work as an advocate for you, not only now as we get started, but also moving forward with any questions on claims, customer service, or reviewing each year to make sure your coverage is still the right fit for you. So, as far as next steps, there's a button down below this you can click. You'll schedule an appointment with me to figure out what path to take for you, what the pricing is, how your prescriptions are covered, and when to act so that it makes the most sense for you and we hopefully avoid any penalties. As far as what do I charge, what does it cost to work with me? Well, zero. You never pay me anything. You never pay anything extra for using me as your independent agent. The company you choose to pays me for helping you, but they don't charge you one penny more for using me as your independent agent. So go ahead and click that link, schedule that free consultation now. We'll go through personalized Medicare summary with info for you that's unique to you, costs, coverage. And if it's a good fit, I can help you complete all the enrollments so it's easy, you know everything's done properly, and you don't have to worry about any penalties. Click that link. I'll talk to you soon.